Hello everybody, I'm Kai.
And I'm Doktor Anarchy.
And you're listening to Bizarre Ones podcast, where every other month we do strange news stories. So the first story, there's this police arrested a man for child pornography after tip-off from burglars. Central California man had been arrested for possession of child pornography thanks to a tip from burglars who robbed the man's property, authorities said. Last month, a juvenile and a 19-year-old illegally accessed the property of Craig Stockard, 54, of Delhi, California. According to a statement from Deputy Tom McKenzie of the Merced County Sheriff's Department, they broke into the Stockard's barn and stole about 50 CDs they believed were blank.
So, let me get this straight, Kai. They break into this guy's house, right? And they believe these CDs are blank. And instead, they find child pornography.
Yeah, basically, that's exactly what happened.
So imagine that you're that guy, right, Kai? Imagine you're that guy and you think you got away with it, right? And you think that there's nobody going to bust you, and the fact is that the only reason you get busted for your crime is because somebody else was committing a crime.
Yeah, exactly. So Stockard fired a police report on the incident on September 12th, according to McKenzie. But the young people who stole the CDs were in for a surprise. When they began to put the disc into the computer, they discovered that they contained this kind of thing. So they obtained the CDs under decidedly shady circumstances. The pair decided to apparently still report it to the police. A search warrant was served, and 3 more computers and 3 laptops were taken for the home. Investigators said that this guy had been doing it since 2004. The 2 burglars who suspected have reported Stockard have not been arrested. So yeah, to get busted, this guy gets busted because of somebody else committing a crime themselves.
I mean, this guy, right? He thought he got away with this crime. And the only reason he got busted for his crime is that somebody else had to commit a crime themselves. They break into his place, and I bet they weren't expecting that. I bet they were expecting something else, like anything else on these CDs. They probably thought they were blank. They thought that there was no content on them. They thought, hey, I scored something, I could sell this back on the internet. And then instead they find this guy's very disgusting garbage on these things. I find that story interesting for sure.
But yeah, to conclude that story, it is ironic that for him to get busted for his crime, somebody else had to commit a crime, and that's why, it's in this podcast for these strange true news stories, if you will, because it's strange in the fact that another crime had to be committed to bust him. So the next story, this man was arrested in UK, right, for a cheese heist where this imposter stole $389,000 worth of cheddar.
That's kind of cheesy if you ask
me. Yeah, definitely cheesy. So these authorities in London arrested a 63-year-old man in connection with the cheese heist of 2024, in which tens of thousands of pounds of high-value cheddar were stolen from a major distributor.
Kind of puts a whole new meaning to the whole, I gotta get that cheddar, I gotta get that cheddar. Usually people say that, meaning when they gotta get that dough, and they say cheddar, but this guy literally stole cheddar.
Yeah, so he literally stole this high-value cheddar from this major distributor. A London-based retailer and cheesemaker, Neil's Yard Dairy, said it learned on Wednesday that a suspect was in custody. The Metropolitan Police confirmed to NPR that a man was detained on suspicion of fraud by false representation and handling stolen goods.
Oh, so Kai, was it perhaps Chester the cheetah that stole this?
No, I don't think it was Chester Cheetah that stole it at all. But yeah, so he was for handling stolen goods. The man was taken to South London Police Station where he was questioned. He has been since bailed pending further inquiries. Over the past week, the British artisanal cheese community has been reeling after the Neil's Yard Dairy announced that it had been the victim of a sophisticated fraud resulting in the loss of over 30,000 pounds worth of cloth-bound cheddar, the equivalent of more than $389,000 in American money.
To be honest, this crime, Kai, is just grating to my ears. It's just not that great of a crime.
No, it's not that great of a crime at all. The thief made off, though, with 950 wheels, over 22 metric tons, or roughly 48,000 pounds of the cheese. So, I mean, just wow, that's a lot of cheese to get away with.
I'm sure for all cheesemakers, this is just not that good of news at all. It's very bad news, for sure.
Well, if you thought that news story was cheesy, listen to this one. Archaeologists have just found the world's oldest cheese in an ancient Egyptian tomb. The material analyzed in this study is probably the most ancient archaeological solid residue of cheese ever found to date. The latest discovery from a team of archaeologists has taken aged cheese to a whole new level. In a paper published in July in the Journal of Analytic Chemistry, a team of archaeologists revealed that they discovered the oldest specimen of cheese ever found. The cheese, which is believed to be approximately 3,200 years old, which was found while the team was excavating the tomb of Themius, mayor of Memphis, the ancient capital of Egypt. According to the Smithsonian, sometime between 2013 and 2014, the team of archaeologists found a few broken jars at the site, one of which had a mysterious solid white mass inside. And that's where they found the cheese. So yeah, they found this ancient cheese. It was a dairy product obtained by mixing sheep and goat and cow milk. So, pretty interesting story. So this next story, it's on this flight, Costa Rica flight to Costa Rica to Denver, right? And on this flight, stowed away on the flight was a Halloween crab, stowed away on a flight from Costa Rica to Denver International Airport, and now it has a new home at the Denver Zoo.
Well, Kai, I hope nobody got crabby about the whole situation at all when the crab was on board.
No, as far as I know, no one got crabby. The Denver Zoo Conservation Alliance said on social media that a flight crew had discovered this black-back land crab, also known as a Halloween crab, moon crab, and Bermuda land crab.
Yes, Kai, not to be confused with the kind of crab that I got from that one girl that one Halloween.
No, definitely not to be confused with that. But they said, thanks to our amazing conservation partners at U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, this crab has found a safe and cozy home with us at Denver Zoo Conservation Alliance. The Post said, the crab's arrival came just in time for Halloween. So speaking of animals, this animal had a great escape, if you will. This bat escaped the German zoo by hiding in the visitor's jacket.
Hey Kai, are we sure the person's jacket that he was hiding in wasn't Batman?
No, it wasn't Batman. So anyways, bat escaped from a zoo in Germany by landing on a visiting woman hiding in her clothes until she got home.
Yeah, are you sure though that she wasn't batshit crazy?
No, she wasn't batshit crazy as far as I know. So she contacted the animal expert and put the bat in a box with honey water and a banana overnight to keep it fed and comfortable. Her husband and son returned the bat to the zoo the following day. A spokesperson for the zoo said that the leaf-nosed bat has returned to its habitat and is doing fine. He said it's the first time a bat had ever escaped from the zoo by stowing away with a visitor. So this next story, if you will, is about this Alabama couple who has a 16-foot, 10-inch okra plant. That might be the world's largest okra plant in the world. So this Alabama couple may have broken the World Guinness Book of Record by growing an okra plant that reached a height of 16 feet and 10 inches. Mobile residents Terry and Candace Stevens said this is their first year planting okra in their garden, and they were shocked to see the plants reach for the sky. Actually, this is our first year planting, Terry Stevens told WALA-TV. I think we started in March, and we started in seeds from my shed, and we transferred them out here, and they've been just growing ever since. A crew from Bird Surveying visited the couple's home to take an official measurement, right, to submit to Guinness World Records. The plant was measured at 16 feet and 10 inches tall. The record is currently held by New Orleans man Jack Reno Sweeney, whose okra plant was measured at 16 feet and 4 inches tall in 2022. Now, in this podcast, I'll try to put the links to these particular articles that I'm reading it from, so you can check it. Those of you that are watching this podcast on YouTube, that'll be in the description bar down below. So the police discovered these drugs in a bag labeled "definitely not a bag full of drugs."
Kai, I used to do that all the time when I was growing up. Like, I had this bag of weed in, my dresser drawer, and I told my parents, definitely not a bag of weed. And I wrote it with a permanent marker, and it didn't work for me, so I'm pretty sure it didn't work for these people either.
No, the stash was actually discovered in Portland, Oregon, when police officers stopped a driver and passenger inside an allegedly stolen car.
So, not only did these people steal a car, but they had a bag of drugs. It definitely wasn't a bag of drugs, is what they said.
Yeah, so, apparently they had stolen a car as well. And posting about the incident on Twitter, Portland Police Bureau said scales, cash, loaded guns were also found. Pictured along with the items recovered from the vehicle was a small brown makeup bag with the words "definitely not a bag full of drugs" written on the front. I'm curious, though, and I don't know if you're curious as well, Dr. Anarchy, but I wonder if they spray painted on the car, "not a stolen car,"
You're probably right, Kai. They probably were like, no, this is not a bag of drugs, and this car is not a stolen car. It says so on it. So, obviously, we wouldn't lie about that at all.
So, despite the claim on the vanity case, more than 10 grams of fentanyl and meth was reportedly found inside. According to local media, a man and a woman were arrested over the incident, and the pair are reportedly facing charges of drug possession and possession of a stolen vehicle.
But Kai, it's not stolen drugs and it's not a stolen car. They were framed.
Yeah, they were framed. So, Dr. Anarchy, have you ever wanted a pizza with a side of cocaine?
Can't say I have, Kai. Can't say I have.
Well, okay, so there's this pizzeria that was recently busted for cocaine. Police in Germany say they have busted a restaurant that delivered cocaine with one order on its menu after a tip-off earlier this year. It's been one of the top-selling pizzas. A German pizzeria has been busted after allegedly delivered one of its dishes with a customary side of cocaine.
Well, Kai, I'm pretty sure they were up all night because of that pizza. Like, they wanted more of that pizza. Like, that pizza was really addicting. I know pizza business is really rough and tough, but I wouldn't imagine that, when it comes to the pizza business, you need to be that competitive where you need to put cocaine in your pizza.
Yeah, I'd assume that the pizza business is not that competitive where you need to put cocaine in it. I bet it's Eric Clapton's favorite pizza, though. So this German pizzeria, after busted because of cocaine, police said the restaurant in Dusseldorf, Western Germany, would provide the drug when customer asked for item number 4 on the menu. It is not known how much the pizza charged for the special order. That was one of the best-selling pizzas, criminal director Michael Moltke said.
Kai, the thing is, when it comes to that, they had the whole special order number thing. That reminds me back in the day when I used to, smoke pot and all that. I'd call up my pot dealer and be like, yeah, I'd like a t-shirt. And, there was these code words, if you will, about how to get, marijuana. That way the police wouldn't be, knowing and, listening in on the conversation.
Just imagine, though, right, that the customer goes in, after having that special item number 40, that I really need that 40, man. Or I need item number 40, man. You don't understand how much I need item number 40. But yeah, basically the police discovered 1.6 kilograms of cocaine, 40 grams of cannabis, and 268,000 pounds in cash. The manager, who's 36, was detained for a few days. However, soon he reopened the business and continued to sell pizza number 40 with the usual side order. And of course, not the side order of cocaine. Before I get up, cocaine. So, remember a few years back where that person found something in their Hot Pocket?
Yeah, actually, I do remember that. I do remember the person finding something in their Hot Pocket.
Okay, so this woman found strange metal rod baked into her pizza takeaway. She had been left horrified after finding a strange object embedded in her takeaway that she had ordered from Pizza Hut. Amber, 24, took to Twitter to share a photo of the bizarre discovery after discovering it baked in the crust of her margarita pizza. Tagging the fast food chain on post, Amber wrote, "Hey, Pizza Hut, can you explain this? Like, just imagine finding that in your pizza.
I could imagine finding out my pizza. Like, I'd be demanding for my money back. So what exactly was it that she found in her pizza?
Well, it seems like the object that she found in her pizza in the photo looks like part of the oven, if you will, that was found, that was at the pizza. So I guess they weren't paying attention when they pulled the pizza out. And they're like, I don't know how they didn't see it. Like, when they put it in the pizza box, you'd think they would see the rot. Maybe they did. They're like, God, the guy just doesn't give a fuck, and he's just like, you know what? Put it, ship it out. We're done. I'm done for the night. But that is just messed up. Good thing that she noticed it before she went to, actually eat the pizza.
Yeah, good point. If she found it before, you did find it before, and she ate the pizza, that would be a lawsuit waiting to happen. I'm pretty sure it's still a lawsuit waiting to happen.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is still a lawsuit waiting to happen. I mean, that Pizza Hut really needs to reevaluate some things, if you ask me. So, bags of chips nowadays, they don't leave much chips in there, right? They, give you the bag of chips, and there is more air than bag of chips. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, actually, I do know what you're talking about. I really hate that when you buy the bag of chips, and there's nothing but air left. That's all you have left in the bag, and there's barely any chips in there, and you're like, I just paid $3.99 for this bag of chips.
Exactly. So, yeah. Like you just said, you get this bag of chips, or as they call them overseas, crisp, and you get more air than you do chips. Well, this woman found an entire potato in a damp bag of Greg's crisp. So in her bag of potato chips, she found an entire potato.
So you're telling me that they were so lazy at the potato chip factory, they didn't even cook the potato or slice it or anything. They just said, hey, let's give this woman a potato.
Yeah, basically. So a woman was enjoying the chips on her lunch break, and she was starting to open and find an entire potato inside. Nothing else. There was just a potato.
So you're telling me that there was nothing in the thing other than a potato. That was it. That was in there.
Yeah, she spent £1.20 on her bag of chips, and that's all she found. She spotted, while at her desk, spotted an entire potato, and she burst out laughing.
I'd burst out laughing too, but I'd want my refund. I'd want my money back. I'd be like, I bought these chips, or crisp as they call them over there, and it's like, I bought this in. This is all you give me as a potato? Is this like a do-it-yourself kind of chips? Actually, when you think of it, that would actually be a new good deal. It's like, you know what? We're going to charge people the same amount that we do for chips and crisp usually, but instead it's a do-it-yourself, like a Lunchable, if you will.
Like a Lunchable. So, speaking of potato chips, a World War I hand grenade was mistaken for a potato in a Chinese chip factory.
I mean, they should have just gone ahead and put it in the bag, if you ask me. I mean, really, when you think of it, who misses those prizes in the Jack-in-the-Box? Or, I mean, not Jack-in-the-Box, Cracker Jacks. Right, you'd open up the Cracker Jack box. They don't even come in a bag anymore. They come in, they don't even come in the box anymore. They come in a bag. And so, I mean, this is just, bringing back the prizes, Surprise, she got an explosive.
Okay, so this century-old grenade was still functional, and the Hong Kong police had to quickly detonate the device in an abandoned alley. The automated machinery in a potato chip factory in Hong Kong was unable to process one particular spot, and overseers quickly realized why. It was a German-made World War I hand grenade. So yeah, they found a hand grenade in this freaking thing that was supposed to be a potato chip. Well, not potato chip, but a potato. And of course it wasn't. But I mean, imagine if somebody had eaten that, exploded and left a really horrible smelly mess. Speaking of a smelly mess, this Greek man was convicted of causing a disturbance by entering neighbors' properties to smell their shoes.
I mean, honestly, if you broke my house, I don't think you'd want to smell my shoes. I got really bad smelling feet. I shit you not, Ty. My feet are really bad. Especially when I've gotten athletes' feet or foot, whatever you call it, a few times, it was just horrible. So bad that it would have probably killed an entire block of people.
A whole entire block of people. So yeah, This judge in northern Greece on Thursday imposed a suspended 1-month prison sentence on a man convicted of disturbing his neighbors by repeatedly sneaking into their properties to smell their shoes.
This has to be, if you will, some kind of like fetish. Like, I'm not saying it's a sexual fetish, it probably is, but this guy's obsessed with feet, and I mean, have you smelled feet? Feet are not that really good smelling. They smell really, really bad. I mean, I don't know why anyone would want to do that.
Yeah, I don't know either why if anyone would do that. He was 28 years old. He was unable to explain his behavior. It caused him to be embarrassed.
Well, dude, I'd be embarrassed too. You're going around breaking into people's houses, smelling their shoes. I mean, that's definitely be something to be embarrassed about. Damn. I mean, why do that?
So yeah, the man was arrested before dawn on October 8th in the small town of Sindos, about 15 kilometers west of the place he had been, caught smelling the shoe. The police had been called after a neighbor found the defendant in his front yard sniffing his family's shoes.
Well, imagine that. You're just sitting there, enjoying the telly, watching your favorite show, and you look outside and like, that motherfucker's sniffing our shoes. I hope he knows that I stepped in a pile of dog shit this morning.
Yeah, that's just, I don't know what to say. So that's it we have for the podcast today, or for this month's episode. If you're watching this on YouTube, the links will be in the description bar down below. If you're listening to this on Spotify, I'll try to leave the links as well to all these particular articles that me and Dr. Anarchy went over. But I find these stories interesting. I'd love to have you back on at one point in the future, Dr. Anarchy, if that's cool with you.
Oh, definitely. I'd love to be back on this podcast of yours, Kai. This was hilarious, to do. Even though I think I made most of the jokes and commentary. You made a few pretty good jokes too, so thank you for having me on this podcast. So to all of y'all listening and whatnot, peace out. I've been Dr. Anarchy.
No problem. You did crack most of the jokes. I didn't really do that well on this. I hope that this podcast for this audio has improved compared to the last one with me and Tanya. I hope that the audio wasn't as bad as the previous one for those of you listening to the podcast. I really appreciate all of y'all listening. Next month's episode will be back to the format of last month's episode, because every other month we're going to do the strange news stories, and then the other months that we're not doing the strange news stories will be the paranormal and the bizarre stories for this Bizarre Ones podcast. Anyways, I can't think of anything to say, so this podcast is over. Thank you for listening. I've been your host, Kai. Until next time, stay bizarre.